Adelaide probably in a similar position as well with you guys as far as trying to make the play-ins. What are you expecting from them?
Yeah, we've already played them 3 times. I think they're the only team we played 4 times, maybe so. You look at their roster and across the board, exceptionally talented. CJ's a good coach, so it's a tough game. I think on paper it's gone against the home team every time, so hopefully we can reverse that.
On the last game sort of just played, it sort of seemed like the bigger guys were playing a lot more minutes, and probably Blanchfield, Norton didn't really get as much time off the bench. Was that sort of a strategy that was spoken beforehand, given who you were playing, and do you expect them to play a few more minutes this weekend?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure. Those decisions are well above my pay grade. It's kind of JR and a strategic thing maybe. But, they're New Zealand, you look across the board too, and they're exceptionally talented as well. So, they're JR's decisions, and it was just nice to get a win.
It has been a big talking point for everyone else externally because it's unusual for college not to play at all and to get 3 minutes. How does it handle internally by players? And do players happily accept if a night goes like that, or do they ask, what have I done wrong? Why aren't I important?
Look, I think that's the reality of the games. The fact of the matter is we won a basketball game, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to win as many and try to make playoffs, and that's the job. So I think, I don't care if I play 30 seconds or if I play 40 minutes. If it's a team game, and if we win, that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? It's not to play a certain amount of minutes or score a amount of points. It's to win basketball games.
I think we'll see a bit more. Obviously, Corey Sherrill didn't play much at all, and Ty Webster comes in as he's but he's going to play a lot. So minutes are going to be reduced for everyone. So it's a reality now that with that change, those minutes are clearly going to be available for somebody else, and that will take away from everybody else along the way.
I guess, again, they're not my decisions. JR plays who he sees fit, who's rolling in the games. It changes from quarter to quarter, to game, to personnel, to foul trouble, to injury. There's a million variables, so they're JR's decisions. And, as I said, the guys that are on the court are giving their all trying to win basketball games.
Had a couple of games now, especially the other night as well, where you were down late and it managed to pull it out and win. What's that done for the belief that Melbourne game? Some others were really tight late as well. You managed to win. What does that do for everybody's belief in the group?
Yeah, it's a good sign. Winning close ones. We lost a couple of close ones early on in the season. But I think the game, especially the last game against New Zealand, that last kind of 5 minutes, it was intense. It was physical. Guys were getting after it. We've got to take that and do it for 40 minutes, and that's always the challenge. But guys getting on the floor, battling for rebounds. We saw that in the last kind of 45 seconds. It was a great intensity and great effort. Hopefully we can do that for 40 minutes, and that's what you have to do in this league.
Just on that, you had a few that fell by the wayside by 3 points against the Breakers, and then you turn it around and win by 3 points. What were the discussions after the game when you lost by such a narrow margin in order to kind of be on the winning ledger?
Yeah, look, I think everyone in a game like that, and when it's so close, and everyone kind of looks at the last 2 minutes and says, "Oh, what could we have done here?" But the reality is, it's there's 38 minutes before that, and it sounds like a cliche, but the possessions at the start of the game are just as important. I think we came out, kind of set the tone, even though the ball wasn't going through the hole as much as we would have liked. I think we held them to 17 in the first quarter, and that's a great sign leading into the next 3 quarters. So. It's just, as I said, cliche again, but it's 40 minutes and you're trying to do as best you can for 40 minutes. It's not necessarily the last 2 minutes.
I feel a bit like finals already started with the way this ladder is at the moment. It's like this game is massive for both teams from the ladder. What will the ladder look like after?
Huge. It's, if you want a playoff mentality or whatever you want to call it. It's essentially win or go home kind of already. There's lots of teams fighting for not many spots, and a lot of games left in a short space of time. So these games, especially against a team that's, you said before, kind of similar situation to us, are vitally important.
Is it nice 5 out of the last 7 games you're going to be playing is at home? Does that kind of, play into the psyche a little bit, that you might have that added advantage to come home strong, even though you've got a pretty hard run?
I haven't really looked at it, to be honest. I think usually, at least in my time in Perth, we've kind of had a similar schedule in terms of we'll start a few at home, go on the road that early Jan, late December. We're kind of always on the road, given the tennis here or something like that. So it's 14 away, 14 home at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter when you're playing, but at least in my time, it's kind of been relatively similar.
Approach the last sort of 7 games, do you kind of relish the pressure? You've probably been in a similar sort of situation before, or do you like that pressure as a match?
Yeah, I love it. You want to play in the big games. You want to play games that mean something. So I like that they're kind of close together. It means less practice, and yeah, I mean, everyone here just loves playing games. I mean, that's why we're athletes. We're playing basketball. We're doing something we love, and you want to play brightest lights and roof open, and it should be a cracker, and that's why you play.
And just on that, your big guys, Brady Manning, Sean Thomas had a huge game the other day just as far as the rebounding. Is it nice to sort of start to see that kind of come to fruition after it being such a large focus across the year?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a focus. We lost some games on the rebounding count, but it's nice to put a few back to back, and hopefully we can keep on doing it. It's a game by game emphasis. It's not just one and we've solved the issue. You got to back it up and you got to do it again and again and again for the rest of the season.